You know something? One may end up with quite a complexion after playing Shadow of War. The orcs really don't like our hero. Here are the few pet names they have for you. Tark, Pinkskin, Gravewalker, Manswine, Blood, Manfilth and Meat. How affectionate. Hello RageQuitters, this is Greggs, and welcome to our much delayed video review of Middle-earth: Shadow of War. First off, massive thanks to Warner Brothers Publishing, who very kindly supplied us with the key to enable us to bring you this review today. That's really cool, thanks a lot guys. So this is Monolith Productions' sequel to 2014's hit, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of War keeps all the awesome tropes of the original game, and ramps things up considerably. As with the first game, the PC version of Shadow of War is a very solid port. As you can clearly see, there are options aplenty, such as native 4K and ultra-wide resolution support. The HUD is extremely scalable, allowing for individual components to be toggled on or off, so you can pretty much disable everything on the screen. It does get a little bit cluttered at times, but information is good. Those of you with beefy hardware can take full advantage of the free optional 4K texture and the HD movie DLC. Things look slightly crisper at the cost of hard drive space, and a marginal performance set is not too bad. The new Firebird engine handles expansive landscapes with ease, with minimal loading times and very little object popping. However, a few orcs did manage to drop in out of thin air. No big deal, not a showstopper. So we're pleased to report that the game not only runs beautifully on PC, but it's also very stable, with, I don't remember it crashing at any point during our play session. So 70 plus hours of game time, no crashes, that's a good sign of a good port. Just like the original game, there's a built-in benchmarking tool so you can gauge how your PC might handle the game. Just remember to ensure you're running the latest GPU drivers. The game controls great with mouse and keyboard, and all the keys can be rebound. There's also native controller support that switches profiles when you touch the keyboard or touch the controller. That happens on the fly. That's a good sign of a good PC port in my book. All looking good. So let's talk about the story. This is a direct sequel, basically. It follows on straight away from Shadow of Mordor. Talion and Celebrimbor are forging a new ring to assist in their quest to bring down the Dark Lord Sauron. Those of you who played the first game will know exactly how things played out, so it is a direct sequel. It's typical Middle-earth, cinematic awesomeness, high quality visuals, very well voice acted. A few surprise characters making a return from the first game as well, so keep an eye and ear out. The world of Mordor is even more realised this time around. Massive sprawling play areas, with very little load times, beautifully crafted scenes that suck you right into the game. There's much more variety in the locales too. You also notice there's a lot more verticality as well. That complements Talion's new and improved skills. Oh yes, he has a lot more tricks up his sleeves this time. As well as bringing over most of his skills from the first game, Talion is much more agile this time around. He can traverse almost any building or object at high speed and can also jump and vault like a boss. Of course, you can always navigate the terrain on your mount companions, be it on a Caragor or a Grog. There's now the inclusion of drakes, which are essentially dragons that possess the ability to breathe a variety of elemental flames, as well as spit out area of effect fireballs, rather deadly, and thins out the crowds. And when things get desperate and you're running out of health, you can always swoop down and pick up a tasty orc morsel and chow down. A good way to regenerate health. As awesome as Talion and Celebrimbor are, and as awesome as it is flying around on a dragon, the true stars of the show have to be the Uruks, or orcs. The Nemesis System makes a welcome return in the form of version 2.0, and it's all the better for it. The orcs remember when you fall to them in battle. They also come back with a vengeance if you decide to use the new features such as Banish and Shame. Their appearances also change. They bear the marks of war-torn defeat or come brandishing new armour or new abilities. No two fights are ever the same. There are many new features in the Nemesis system now. As mentioned, defeated orcs can be shamed. This is a fate worse than death, as orcs are highly honourable beasts. Shaming comes in handy for lowering the higher tiered beasts who don't take kindly to being mind controlled. Yep, some of the Uruk are invulnerable to Talion's mind controls and would sooner fight to the death and be controlled by the Bright Lord. Try shaming the same orc a few times, see what happens. It's rather interesting. There's also the betrayal system. Yes, your recruited orcs will betray you. They'll come betray you and they'll bay for your blood. You do have a choice, however. Once defeated you can re-recruit. Why would you do that? Shame or just kill the bastard. The only good betraying orc is a dead one. It adds a whole new dimension and a little frustration to the armor system. More frustration if you put the extra effort into finding that one awesome compadre you get attached to. Either way, it doesn't happen as often later on in the game. You'll see why after you meet Bruce. As well as the Nemesis system, the biggest change comes with the game's economy and loot. We now have an in-game currency and loot boxes. I will be honest here, I wasn't all that keen on this move. It's fast becoming the norm these days and I genuinely think Shadow of War doesn't need such a system. It's mainly a single player game with a hint of online play. More on that later. Why do we think this game doesn't require loot boxes or in-game currency? Well, as stated, it's a single player game. I also think the game does a very good job of rewarding you for your hard work. Orcs drop decent gear and you also receive gear through challenges. As ingrained into the game as the loot system is, I did find it was pretty well handled. There was no constant alert nagging you to spend real money on credits or loot boxes. You do get a strong hint of this when you enter the marketplace menu, but in general, it doesn't interfere with the core mechanics of the game, and that's important. The game is absolutely dripping with gear, as you can see. There are set item bonuses, challenge bonuses, and all the gear is socketed, which enables you to buff yourself even further. These gems can be upgraded as well. It all feels very Diablo in that sense. We love Diablo, so it's a welcome addition to the game. With this sort of system comes the inevitable grind. Chapters 1 to 3 are great. However, Chapter 4 is where the grind really sets in. 10 days of Shadow Wars. This is where you either have to defend or take outposts. Oh yes, you and your orcs now have homes in the form of outposts. Another one of Shadow of War's massive additions. The premise is simple. Attack an outpost, kill the overlord, and then defend it from attack. It's a neat addition and it gives you some great sense of accomplishment when you overlook your crib, seeing all your blue emblazoned orcs walking around, chatting to one another, praying, training, riding around on Caragors and looking like absolute bosses. Defending and attacking is simple enough. The easiest way to explain it is to ensure your attack or defend points are higher than the enemy's. Assign leaders to particular duties and unlock special skills such as better defense, better attack, spiked walls, reinforced walls, fire traps, you name it, this game's got it. The attack defending is also a lot of fun. The scale of battle is quite impressive. You get to help out your compadres, take out the war chiefs and just take or defend your outpost. As mentioned, Chapter 4 is a long grind. The Shadow Wars start there, 10 long days, a lot of defending or attacking if you lose your outpost. It fast becomes repetitive and we just wanted the game to end to watch the credits roll. It's a real shame and feels like an afterthought as there's just so much of it to do. You can go about your normal business however, continue to build your armies, complete the side quests and buff up Talon's gear even further. It is the nature of the game that repetition sets in however. After almost 72 hours of gameplay, the last act felt like a chore, which is a shame as the game is superb. The combat is as fluid, responsive and as satisfying as ever. Killing orcs is always a pleasure, it never ever gets old. So, Middle of Earth, Shadow of War is a big improvement over Shadow of Mordor in almost every single way. The Nemesis system is even more awesome than before. Fluid, slick combat, a decent progression system, fancy loot, online leaderboards, outpost raids, and of course the online vendettas. They make a welcome return. Once again giving you the option of avenging the community's deaths by slaying or dominating the filthy orc that killed them. This time you receive juicy rewards for your efforts, be it XP, loot or currency. It's worthwhile taking part as well as to receive a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling inside that you avenged your online brethren's death. It's all good. In closing, we cannot recommend Shadow of War enough. Sure, the questionable addition of loot crates and microtransactions is, well, it's questionable, isn't it? But it is handled fairly well and doesn't intrude. Act 4 is a massive grind and we wish it was handled differently, but the game is still great. This is definitely a worthy sequel to the original, which was still awesome. I still play it to this day. It's got stealth, action, gore, orcs, dragons, loot, domination, and of course, the most important thing, a place to live. This definitely receives our prestigious, hearty RageQuitters the Legendary Award. It's well deserved. So, if you like this review, please don't hesitate to give us a thumbs up. If you felt we were way too late in releasing this video, well, you'd be right, but life and shit happens. But just give us a thumbs down for it, no worries. Also, don't forget to share, comment, and of course subscribe. Have a mosey around our channel and check out the rest of our content. There's lots of variety. Thanks guys, and always, have a good day.
Where the wintry winds are blowing, Grog is there. Where the mountains' ashes blowing, Grog is there. In the dungeons all ablaze, even in the black and pale, Grog is there. Grog is there.